Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you run a retail business, smash and grab break-ins are the literal worst. It's a trend you absolutely hate to see. But here's the good news. You do not have to be just another statistic. Today, we're giving you a step-by-step storefront security checklist for immediate practical improvements. We're pulling directly from commercial security guidance based on real storefront protection experience to help you make your storefront a zero-target zone and keep the looters at bay.
Here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with the 2-minute threat, then move into Step 1, physical barriers, Steps 2 and 3, visibility, Steps 4 and 5, hardening, and finally, prevention over repair. All right, Section 1, the 2-minute threat. Before we start checking off action items, we really need to assess the threat we're actually up against. Okay, so a smash and grab. It is absolutely not some complex Hollywood-style heist. It is exactly what it sounds like. A burglar aggressively smashes a barrier, usually your front glass window or your door. They grab literally whatever valuables they can carry, and they flee quickly. And the aftermath? It leaves business owners dealing with costly glass damage, stolen inventory, and honestly, a deeply shaken sense of security for both you and your staff.
But here is the most crucial point. A smash and grab usually takes less than 2 minutes. Think about that time frame for a second. Less than 2 minutes from the exact moment the glass breaks to the moment the criminals are totally gone. This means police response times, no matter how amazing your local precinct is, are simply not fast enough to catch criminals in the act. You just cannot rely on a reactive response. You have to rely on proactive prevention. Moving to Section 2, physical barriers. This is Step 1 on our checklist. Now, you might be wondering, hey, what about my standard alarm system? Well, why can't you just rely on those standard alarms? Because they only sound after a break-in has already occurred. The glass is already broken, and that 2-minute clock is ticking. Security rolling shutters, on the other hand, provide a highly visible physical shield. They literally stop thieves before they ever touch your glass, completely removing the opportunity in the first place. It is the ultimate deterrent. But hey, maybe rolling shutters simply aren't an option for your specific storefront. No problem. Your immediate fallback on this checklist is high-quality security film. By applying this clear layer to your windows, you prevent the glass from shattering instantly when it gets struck. Now, it doesn't make the glass totally unbreakable, but it keeps it intact within the frame. That buys you precious time and severely frustrates the burglar. And remember, in a crime that heavily relies on a 2-minute window, frustration and delay are your absolute best weapons. Let's jump into Section 3, visibility. This covers Steps 2 and 3. So, Step 2 is all about optimizing your storefront lighting. Look, criminals absolutely love the cover of darkness. It's their best friend. So keep your interior lights on overnight. That way, anyone attempting to hide inside is instantly visible from the street. And please, don't forget the back of your building. Install bright, motion-sensing LED lights around those rear exits and alleyways. Take away those hidden access points completely. Which brings us right to Step 3, and this pairs perfectly with your lighting. High-visibility surveillance systems. Modern criminals might be bold, sure, but they still strongly prefer to work in the shadows. Ensure your cameras are mounted in highly visible locations. Seriously, don't hide them. Visible cameras act as a massive psychological deterrent. And here's a really critical detail from our source. Utilize a system with cloud-based recording. Because if a criminal breaks in and physically smashes or steals your recording device, your footage is still safely preserved in the cloud. All right, Section 4, hardening, covering Steps 4 and 5 of the checklist. Step 4 is strategic inventory placement, or as our source perfectly puts it, don't tempt fate. If your absolute most expensive inventory is sitting right next to the front window, you're essentially inviting a grab. Clear those sightlines. Move high-value items like jewelry, electronics, or designer goods into a secure safe or locked back room when you close up. Oh, and here is a fantastic, super simple tip you can implement literally tonight. Leave your cash drawers open and totally empty at night. Let the thieves look through the window, see that completely empty register, and experience that utter disappointment. They're far more likely to just move on. Step 5 targets the literal, physical weak points of your building. Standard plate glass, it's essentially useless against a brick or a hammer. But upgrading to laminated glass means the glass actually stays structured even when it's violently struck. Furthermore, a strong window is totally useless if the door frame right next to it can be easily pried open. Upgrade to a reinforced door frame to stop crowbars dead in their tracks. Finally, Section 5, prevention over repair. Let's calculate the ROI here. The ultimate takeaway is super simple. Prevention is cheaper than repair. The massive financial hit of replacing a shattered storefront window, combined with the totally devastating cost of lost inventory, will almost always far exceed the price of putting these proactive security measures in place. While no system on Earth can guarantee absolute zero risk, waiting until after a break-in to upgrade your security, that is hands down the most expensive path you can take.
All right, let's quickly review the step-by-step checklist we've built today. 1. Install physical barriers, like rolling shutters or that security film. 2. Optimize your interior and exterior lighting. 3. Add highly visible, cloud-based surveillance. 4. Strategize your inventory placement by securing high-value goods out of plain sight. And 5. Toughen up your glass and frames against brute force attacks. By layering these 5 steps together, you're sending a clear, undeniable message to the streets. Your business is not an easy target. You are making your storefront a zero-target zone. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want you to actively apply this to your own situation tonight. Look at your storefront. View it through the eyes of someone who is just looking for a 2-minute window of opportunity. Ask yourself honestly, is your business currently an easy target? And more importantly, looking at our 5-step checklist, which specific step are you going to implement tomorrow to change that? Protect your livelihood, be proactive, and start building those layers of security today.